My guy, I'm already streaming.
Thought about that code.
I thought Josh would have said something before he started streaming.
Gotta think about who higher in this.
This is already
Thing.
the best RRA stream.
Well, hello everyone. Yeah, Silverstone. I've lost professionalism, but like,
Yeah,
we'll get some good commentary when the race starts. They're currently on their outlap to the grid. Yeah. I'm here with Marcos and Purple, if you guys want to say hi. I don't know which one of you is doing what role, so like introduce yourselves.
Well, hello. My name's Purple. I was here yesterday as well. During qualifying, at least Q1 when we had Q1 streamed, and that was pretty interesting indeed. Q2 as well, so hopefully we see something interesting today.
Yeah, that sounds good. Adding on to this qualifying session, how do you feel, Purple, about this Boot GP 1-2? Of course, in their battle with Kaizen and E-Spirit. Adding on to this is going to be a huge step up for them, considering neither of the Kaizen cars were able to qualify yesterday. So, how do you feel this is going to shape out for their championship?
Well, knowing Boot GP from at least from last season, once we saw them, especially on the back of Dakar, in fact. Not only that, they were doing really well last season, and I feel like that's going to be a momentum that will bring them forward this season as well. So seeing them 1-2 isn't that big of a surprise for me. But in terms of Kaizen, this is actually going to be interesting for them, considering that none of them are in the top 10, and that is definitely going to be throwing a wrench into the constructors, and not only constructors, into their drivers' championship with Luchibot in P3 at the moment. We'll see where he ends up after this race.
Neither of them qualified.
And of course, E-Spirit losing Noah Gamer, I believe they're P3, or it might be Edox, but I'm not particularly sure. It's one of the blue cars.
The Spirit isn't on the team anymore. They got sold, I think.
Wow. Okay, well, the team that was E-Spirit, losing Noah Gamer, that's going to be detrimental for their constructor hopes. I believe he's going to Reticat.
Don't you mean Macho? Macho was the one that moved from a Spirit to Boot for this one race deal.
It's been a long morning. It's
4 PM. Nonetheless,
Cheers,
both boot cars are on pole, or the front row.
But yeah, sorry, Macho leaving the team that was E-Spirit is now whatever it's been renamed to, and is going to Reticat after this race, I believe. That is going to detrimentally hurt, the team that is P3 in constructors' chances. So we'll have to see how they're able to do today. I think they've got one driver. So we will see. But we're just waiting for all of these cars to get ready. I think there's a tiny little bit of confusion, but they're sorting themselves out.
And everyone who's joining us on stream today, just a quick heads up, our main streamer here is unavailable, unfortunately, so Josh will be taking over, so you might be able to see some behind the scenes of him race directing as well.
I'm the one directing this right now. No one else, because Josh is the one streaming. I have to do this as well. Do we have a... Wait. So Purple, are you both a second and a pit lane commentator?
Yes, I take over for a second whenever he's unavailable. Or we just...
Is he available now?
Milo seems not to be here, no. I don't know if he's just decided to, not do media in favour of doing KKR stuff, or what, but He's not in the KKRBC, so I doubt it. But all personnel have been told to get off the grid. Are we going to get going for a formation lap or a race or however RRA works? I believe we've got quite a few drivers in the pit lane today. I will tell you who they are. Seems to be the two, whatever E-Spirit is now drivers, even though it's still an E-Spirit livery. But let's just not talk about that. Both of the Kaizen Kota cars, as previously said before. Oh, Ace is here. One of the Reti Cats of Benon. The Jordan of 2005.
I'm your reporter. I'm here to give you all the pit lane news. You want the pit lane?
Hit him, didn't we?
Well, we've now got Jezza, who is apparently going to be our pit lane reporter.
Jezza, I am new to this. Hi, I'm new to row racing. I'm 25. I live in Kent.
Jezza, this is
Sad that you're 25 and you live in Kent. I'm just going.
just give us some pit lane information.
I will. Okay, pit lane people. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Most of them are on mediums. All of them are on mediums, apart from Guy Alves, Phenon, and Racerman in the E-Spirit. I don't know if it's called E-Spirit anymore. Other than that, everyone else is on mediums. So a nice even mix. And I will let you know about pit stoppers. I'm going to sit here all the time, and I'm going to make sure that Kaizen do not cheat.
Yes, thank you very much for that, Jezza. As we get going on our formation lap, of course, these boot GPs, this is going to be the first time this pairing are able to see how they drive when they get into the race. So we'll see how they work together. And yeah, they are keeping a nice, decent pace on this formation lap. There's really nothing to say when it's a formation lap, but like Noah Gamer is driving. Yeah. I've been caught off guard here. I'm not. Noah Gamer, I think he's got quite a big gap from the cars behind. I mean, tyre temperature really isn't a thing, and there's no benefit to doing a formation lap, but they're doing it anyway. As he's coming through Stowe now, coming up to Maggots and Beckett's. Teammate behind him, of course, Fexellen sponsorship down there. Yep, rep to our cringiest row racing YouTuber.
Well, one interesting thing here is that I think both the boots are on hards compared to some other people who are on softs, so could be an interesting race strategy.
Why can I not hear Purple Sheep before?
Have you got him muted, maybe?
I don't know. I'm kind of tripping major, not sack. Maybe I was. No, I don't know. Doesn't matter.
Well,
I could just hear him on the stream, but not in real life. No.
Well, Noah Gamer is coming up to line up alongside his teammate. We'll now wait for every car to line up, but I think they've left a massive gap, so we're going to be waiting for a second as two cars fight for the same grid spot. What is happening there? Oh, nope, they've sorted themselves out. We've got 5 cars on the grid. I don't know where everyone else is.
I'm gonna make sure I let them go on time. It's a long run to turn 1. It's a mile away.
As it's been confirmed, our pit lane reporter is doubling up as a race controller. He's going to tell the pit lane starters when to go. As I think we're just getting the rest of the grid starters
these guys
lined
to
up.
figure out where they're starting.
Just going to let them sort themselves out.
Nicolin didn't do qualifying, so I don't know why he's on the grid, but whatever.
And are we going to get the lights anytime soon? Or are we just...
Josh, this isn't in the steward thing.
they've been. Here we get here as we get ready here for the Silverstone RRA Grand Prix. We're not getting any lights, so that was a bit of an anticlimactic build-up, but we'll get them in a minute.
Josh, what's the fucking light?
Oh, here we go.
Alright, here we go.
As the drivers have been told to watch the lights.
It was a good idea, by the way.
So we get 1 light, 2 lights, 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights. How long are they going to be held for?
That's a long time.
They were held for quite a while, but it's lights out and away we go. Noah Gamer getting a decent start, and the Venturi of, I don't know, it might be Dark, getting into the lead straight away. That is an amazing start from that Venturi there. Coming down through turn, bit of vision lag there. That Venturi still trying to attack the Boot GP as it looks like Macho is dropping right back. As Dark is just gaining and gaining and gaining positions here. It's not Dark. Why am I saying it's Dark? Dark is a Horizon. It's someone.
It's Event. I think it's Event who's up there competing for that P1 position with, I think that's Macho. And also, Noah Gamer and also Chase Elliott behind him.
Well, it's one of these two Venturis who have had a rapid start, able to fight with these Boot GPs. Venturi, of course, one of the more newer teams in RRA, doing really well in the start of the season, and now they are fighting for the lead here in Silverstone. In fact, I think they've got it with a couple of tenths to spare, almost distancing themselves from the fight behind, which looks to be a Boot GP of Jordan. Another Boot GP in Horizon, but I'm not particularly sure as Event is pulling that gap going through Maggots and Beckett's, coming down towards Stowe.
Well, one thing is for sure that Noah Gamer is losing a lot of positions. We see, I think Charles Leclerc and a few other cars up ahead of him now. I don't know what's happened to those two Boot GP cars that I thought were going to be really competing for that P1 and P2 position, but it does look like they've fallen back quite a bit.
And really
I have news, by the way. I have updates on the pit starters.
What is your news, Jessa?
Lucibot had a very slow reaction to the light going green, and so he was probably the second last to get going. And then there was another guy who he actually crashed into the wall in the pit lane when the lights went out. It was an E-Spirit. I'm gonna guess it is the guy in last place, Pizvlikuf. That's a good pronunciation. So them two very slow.
Thank you very much, Jezza. Obviously, drama in the pit lane as we start, as Event is pulling that gap. It's 8 tenths when they cross the line. Char behind Macho now. Macho, of course, Macho and Noah both starting on the hards. I think we forgot about this. This start for them is obviously going to be worse because they're on those hard tyres. So obviously we'll have to see how this strategy plays out for them, because it's going to be a slow burner for them, as the Venturi, who is currently leading the way by 8 tenths apparently to the last time they crossed the line, is on soft tyres. So we'll have to see where they're able to come out and what they're able to do. But of course, Lucibot having that bad start, one of the more main contenders in the championship, he is going to be right down the order, and that might mean for Boot GP they've got less pressure and are able to run their own race.
Definitely interesting. I'm looking down the order as well. It does look like everyone has differing strategies. Few people on soft, few people on hards, few people on medium. So this is definitely going to stack up to different pit strategies, and we'll see if the undercut or overcut will be successful or a disaster for many people here today.
It does say Macho got the lead, but I do think that's a bit of vision lag. Then again, every moment, can't exactly see. I know the Sunset GP of Chase Elliott is really trying to attack the Boot GP of Macho, but I'm not particularly sure what is going on, because vision lag and Roblox is an interesting thing. Event's still leading the way though, that's for sure. He is really pulling this gap in that Venturi. He's on for a good result, even with the alternate strategy of the Boot GPs. He could still be on for a podium with this kind of pace.
Well, looking back further down the grid, we see Noah Gamer fighting with Charles Leclerc and a few other people, I think, for that P6. Yeah, P6 position. I think Dark is also involved, as well as, I'm not sure how you say his name. Yeah, Video Super as well are all involved for that P6 position, trying to take it from Noah Gamer.
Yeah, that Boot GP of Noah Gamer really also dropping down the order. That's not great for him because of the fact that they both want to at least stick with the front. So when they're on those faster tires, they're able to capitalize on that. But Macho has dropped all the way down to 5th, and Noah Gamer's in 7th now. So this for the boat is a really interesting strategy call.
Indeed, I would have thought that Boot GP would try to stagger the strategies where maybe, a Gamer or Mr. Macho do a different strategy than the other to see which one works best, but it seems like they've gone for that everyone's doing hards and we're just going to continue with the strategy and see how it goes.
Looking down the order a little bit, Loosebot has gained from P13 to P11. His teammate is down in P14, and the E-Spirits are in P12 and P17 respectively. So even though, the Boot GPs aren't having their best race so far, they're still miles ahead of their championship contenders. Which, to be honest, for them is really lucky at this stage. But we'll have to see how the race develops. None of the championship contenders' cars are out, and anything can happen with a safety car, with a VSC, with anything. So we'll have to see what happens in this race. His event still leads the way with Chase Elliott close behind. Well, not really close, but he's behind.
Well, looking at the Venturi cars, at least in the standings, Chase Elliott is currently going to be 10th place in the standings with the 10 points. And if he does get, let's say a P1 position, putting up to 35, it would be a contention for about...
Oh, that's a big crash! What's this guy doing? He tried to cut the whole chicane. It was that race man. He tried to cut the whole chicane. There is an invisible wall there. So he ate it. And and also Nicolin has retired, and something happened with Noah.
Could you see that one from the pit lane, Jazza?
What? Which one? A lot just happened.
The Venturi of events still leading the way with 2.2 seconds. Dark in P2. I believe Dark won the race last weekend, but I might be wrong in that. But he is the driver in second place. He held that gap was still 2.2 at the end of last lap, so we'll have to see if Dark can make any progress towards Event here. But it looks like Event, at least in the early stages of this race, has everything under control.
Indeed it does, and you were correct. Dark did win last time at Korea, not Singapore. Korea. He did win last time at Korea. And if he is continuing with this pace, it does seem like he might be overtaking Event in the near future.
A bit down the order now, Loosebot has gained onto the back of the pack, fighting for about P5 if you link the train all the way. Can he now get past Noah Gamer, who has obviously spun or had a bit of a scruffy lap, because he is closed right in on the Boot GP driver. Though Noah Gamer is on the hards, he is on the mediums. He's up now in P10, so he has overtaken the Boot GP driver, which now means that Kaizen have at least one car in the points. And still leading that way, but he has lost a lot of time, as there's only a 4/10 gap now to Chase Elliott, his teammate, who I think is now overtaken him. Of course, got that red halo commemorating Nicky Lauda, but it seems like Event is now falling susceptible to both his teammate and Dark, and that gap has just diminished as they come through the fast right-hander towards Maggots and Beckett's.
Well, as we said that this was going to be an interesting race, this is definitely turning out to be an interesting race. With Mr. Macho and Noah Gamer falling a lot of places back from P1, P2 event coming out of nowhere up to that P1 position. Well, giving fair dues to Mr. Macho and Noah Gamer, who are on the hards on a different strategy rather than the soft runners. This could still end up with Mr. Macho up at P1 if these race strategies for Boot GP does work out.
Well, the pit window did open around 3 laps ago, now that they've crossed the line. No one is into pit yet. Of course, that contradicts what we've seen in the last few races with either early or late pit stops from soft runners. But we'll have to see as this race develops what strategies people will be on. Event still leads the way, but only 5 tenths ahead of Dark in P2 and 8 tenths ahead of Chase Elliott, his teammate, in P4. It currently looks like a battle between Venturi and Ryzen to see who will be able to get the top honours, because it is currently Venturi, Ryzen, Venturi, Ryzen. But P4 is 4.7 seconds away from the lead, which means he's about 3.9 seconds away from P3. So he's a little bit out of that podium battle. But we'll have to see if he can bring himself back in, maybe with a different alternative strategy, or just on pure pace alone.
Racerman has pulled into the pits and he's pulled into his garage, so he is retiring.
Fair enough.
Unfortunate for Racerman.
Obviously didn't want any more to do with this race.
Yeah, it might have been some damage from that hit that Jezza said earlier. So that might have caused that DNF from him. But now, as we're looking at Event, Dark, and Chase Elliott basically right next to each other, going for that P1 position, is going to be very interesting to see after they pass the straight who's up ahead. It's still the same, but only 0.09 of a second between Event and Dark.
Yeah, really, really close between these 3 drivers, and Funky is closing in on them, though not by much, as Loosebot has overtaken Macho, but he's been overtaken by Ace, which means now Loosebot is ahead of both Boot GP cars, which is detrimental considering one of the Boot GP cars is now out of the point. But just to remind you, the Boot GP cars are on the hards, whereas the Kaizen car of Loosebot is on the medium, so you should have a slight pace advantage at this stage of the race.
Well, I'll tell you one thing, it's really interesting and really exciting to see new teams this season fighting for those podiums and for those race wins. Definitely creates a fresh sense of racing and excitement around here at RRA. As I say that, I don't know if it's just vision lag or whatnot, but it does look like Dark has gotten ahead of Event. And going now into this turn, I'm not sure which turn it is, but let's see who is out here up in front.
It does look like it's Dark, and it might be that Chase Elliott is also ahead of Event, but we'll see as they come through the final chicane, turning onto the final turn, onto the how Event almost spins it. So that's going to give what looks to be Dark the lead with Chase Elliott in P2, and Event is now over a second behind. He's now going to be attacked by Funky, and that has thrown away his chances for a win today. So that is going to be horrible for him, and I'm sure he'll beat himself up about that one.
Yeah, very unfortunate for Event. He was really, really pushing it. Might have gone into the curb a bit too much and lost the rear end there, but again, it happens to everyone. Just has to put his head down and try to keep up the pace and maybe compete with his own teammate for that P2 position.
That is going to be detrimental for his race because it's also going to hurt his tyres. But we'll have to see if he can survive after that, because that is just not good for him. This battle for the lead, it looks to be continuing, at least for a while yet, because these cars are
we have a beach car.
as we've got a beach
I'll
car.
help him out. It is the guy in, I don't know, an E-Spirit. I can't say that name.
It's
I'll
one of
help him
these
out.
that might not be an E-Spirit.
It definitely is. But he's free. He's free. Never mind.
So for the E-Spirit team that are meant to be in P3 in the constructors, this isn't great for them.
Oh, we have boxers. Yay. Both of the, what are they? I don't know what they are. Both of the Venturis are pitting, and they both, one is on, okay, so Event is going onto the mediums. Chase Elliott fan boxes twice onto the mediums. So he is boxed twice, I'm going to guess, because the person operating the pit stop, they both came in at the same time. Other people that are coming in, the E-Docs of Video Super, he's going to be boxing now. I think that's it for this lap. Chase Elliott fan, no, I thought he stopped. Video Super comes in, he's reversing. He's not pitting still, now he pits onto mediums. So yeah, not great for Chase Elliott, who's been forced to stop twice due to the person operating the pit stops.
So Jezza, can you explain to me, because I'm quite new to RRA, can you explain to me how these pit stops work and how they have to have someone operating them?
Well, you don't actually have to have someone operating them, but you can have them operated by, say, an engineer or actually anyone from the outside. You're not allowed to if you're not part of the team, obviously, but the driver will come in. They have an option to pre-select their tires. They come in and go into their box. So, for example, they had a lot of people around the box actually from the team, and I assume that it could have been an issue where the engineer pressed it and the driver pressed it, thus making it pit twice. But it's a simple click system. So you click it, it boxes you. You click it twice, it boxes you twice, and all that.
Yeah, that's not going to be great for the Venturi team. Of course, Chase is now down in P8. His teammate in P5, just ahead of the KKR of Loosebot. I feel like I'm going to end up saying KKK, and that would not be great, but we'll see what happens.
Bro.
As Event drops down all the way into P9. What has happened to the Venturi here?
Which one? Oh god, what happened there? Yeah. He did pit, but he had a clean stop.
Chase Elliott also drops down. Oh, of course, they cross the line before they come out the pit lane. That was a bit embarrassing.
Who were these guys in the pit lane? Oh, just engineers. No one else seems to have come in this lap.
Well,
There's
we'll
one
have to
more
see
driver
what
to come past, and Eagle M is in, who is the other E-Docs driver. Running at the back, he's the last person to be crossing the line. He comes in. I don't think he knows where his box is. He's nearly turned into about 3 different ones. He's got a bit longer to go. This has to be the slowest drive down the pit lane I've ever seen. And he's in for mediums. So soft to medium, and medium to soft, I guess, seems to be the strat.
Except if you're boot GP, whereas you just don't want. You don't want to do.
One's on
mediums.
hards.
Yeah, it's boot GP on the hards.
Alright, there you go then. They're going to go as long as they can. Hopefully not leaving it too late, because the pit window does obviously close as most of the cars come around now. None of the front runners seem to be boxing, but I'll keep you updated.
Yeah, the front runner's still staying out. It's still a Ryzen 1-2 with Funky
is in.
all the way up to his teammate. Less than a second between the two cars now. Char in P3, Acer in P4, Mr. Macho Globe in P5, Loosebot in P6, Noah Gamer in P7, one of the Sunsets, I think, in P8, Event in P9, and to round out the top 10, you've got Burn on. So we'll have to see how these guys are doing, and if any of them are going to pit anytime soon, because, I mean, it's getting a bit boring. So maybe I should, let's hope.
Oh no, Rusop has just boxed and he's gone medium, which you cannot do. And I've just reviewed it on the stream. Concrete evidence, he did go from medium to medium.
I have heard from the KKR team, because I'm totally not affiliated with the team that's definitely not named after me, that they might be doing a two-stopper, in which my exact wording was, don't do two-stop, men. They may be ignoring their 50% team owner, so let's see what Wisp is planning to do for the rest of this race. Let's hope Loosebot doesn't follow in his tracks. But focusing on what's actually important, the two Ryzen cars still lead away. Dark in P1, Funky in P2, but he has pulled a little bit from his teammate. Char is still in P3, and Jezza, I think a car might be boxing.
Yep. Guy Alves in the Sparks. Oh, he's overshot it. He has to reverse. And he's on two mediums, so soft medium. And still investigating. Yeah, Zuka, but we can't do that. I know it's planned, but we can't do that.
Well, looking up at the further up in the grid, Dark's still leading, although they do have to pit soon, considering they're on soft, so they must be experiencing
Another
at least some sort of tire wear.
There's a Jordan, Nathan Cow, and he is medium to soft. That's new.
Well,
interesting track.
It's not really interesting. I would have said this is a medium to soft race, but maybe I'm wrong.
Well, if my maths is correct, if he's pitting for softs on lap 13, and his mediums went until lap 13, so mediums for him are taking up to 26 laps, so he'll have a much longer stint, at least 2 laps more on the softs, rather on the mediums, so this is a weird strategy, not gonna lie. Maybe he should have taken up that mediums for a few more laps and then gone into the softs.
And 2 more boxers. That's Noah. Noah and Asa are in. I will try and keep up. Asa, being the car ahead, is going to come into box first. Asa right now is on the soft, so I expect him to go medium, and then Noah on the hards. I expect. Oh no, Asa's gone soft to hard compound. And Noah just overshot his box, reverses, and he's gone hard to soft. So a complete swatch there. Oh, and he's boxed again. What a maniac.
That double pit stop once again biting and thrashing another driver's race. Noah Gamer now dropping all the way to a position that I don't know yet. He might
be wrong about also pitting, but he's pitted again anyway. Someone else just came in as well. The Crake. He's on to the mediums.
Goes for the Crake. Mancho has now climbed back up to P4 after all of the pit stops. His teammate is now fighting with the sunset. That could be in P10, or it could be in a... Nope, it has to be in P10. So he's now fighting in P10 with the sunset. We'll have to see what that position that is when everything filters through. But yeah, woo. The 2 Ryzens at the front are still
Macho's in. Macho and the Jordan. So, Macho's got all the way onto pretty much where the engineers sit. So, he's fine though. So, Charles Legreg and Macho. So, Charles Legreg is on the mediums, and Macho is on the hards. So, if he's going to follow in the steps of his teammate, he will probably go softs. Yep. And the Jordan is going on to softs as well.
As Loosebot is getting passed by the Venturi of Mr. Event, so he will now be a pit stop behind the leaders. So that is basically the chances for the KKR team winning out the window, unless they pull a Hungary and just box now and hope for the best.
I wonder how long Dark and Funk are going to be going on those sauce. Because... Oh, and he goes over the bumps and is swerving a little bit. Dark, hopefully he doesn't crash here and is able to make back to the pit safely. And, I mean, they do have a pretty respectable lead in front of Event, but Mr. Macho has already pitted and he's on softs with just 8/10 behind, so that pit stop isn't really going to help them with Mr. Macho either.
Now, what are these Ryzens going to do? When do you pit if you're a Ryzen? When would you pit if you're a Ryzen, Jezza, as our pit lane reporter?
When would I pit? I would pit now because he's boxed.
Ah,
Medium to
fair
soft.
enough.
But he's not getting going again. He's just kind of parked. What's he doing? Oh, Lucibot also pits. He's crashed into the wall. Oh, so now he's bro. He sat in the box for a good 10 seconds there, Funky Fox. He's on it soft to medium, and Lucibot is medium to soft. Oh, and he's boxed again. What a yobbo. But there was just a bit of word about possibly another tire glitch from the Kaizens. These guys, they've got problems. Don't know what it was. They said the tires were actually regenerating. So, I'm not sure if that's still going on because he's boxed now. But yeah.
Ryzen and tires. It seems like a match made in heaven, considering all of the drama these guys have had about their bloody tires. Anyway, moving on. Loosebot is now out back of the back into the race. I think he's behind both of the boot GPs, but don't quote me on that one. He might be ahead of one of them. We'll see when they cross the line. But he's definitely behind Macho, and that's about all I can tell you at the moment. Funky was the one that boxed. Dark is still currently leading this race, around a 19-second gap to Event behind. Is this the rise of Ryzen? Considering they won last week as well. Did you like that pun there?
That was pretty nice, I'm not gonna lie.
The name is Missouri.
The other Darky
Ryzen.
boxes. Softs to mediums.
Ah,
So not many to pit now, I believe.
oh,
Darky was leading the race, obviously, for that reason. And I think Lucibot as well. We'll drop down the order now. Funky Fox. So I think they've all boxed. Yeah. I believe they've all boxed now. So anything else is a strategy call.
Indeed,
I think we might be wrong.
Yep, indeed. At least Dark's pit stop was much faster than the unfortunate Funky Fox.
It was very fast. It was actually a really good pit stop.
And we as Dark was... Oh, hold on. Yep, as Dark was leaving the pit lane, we just saw Event go past him. So as these timing sheets get updated, or the standings get updated on the left side, we'll see Event up into P1, I believe, followed by Dark and Mr. Macho.
We'll have to see how this race shapes out now, because it is Funky Fox under attack by, or attacking Noah Gamer even, for that P6 position. But it does look like Noah Gamer stays comfortably there, or is that Dark being attacked for? Oh, it's one of the two.
Well, as you were saying, I think it was both of them. The boots, I think, passed both of those cars back there. Pretty interesting, like a tandem overtake on that team.
Sounds good. As I think Dark is now in P3, Event in P1, and Macho in P2. Yep. But I'm not a betting man, but that'd be a safe bet if I was betting anything. Char going up to P4, Chase in P5, Funky in P6, Noah Gamer in P7, Vernon still in P8 maybe? Yep. Sunset and Loose in P10. Rounding off our top 10 at the moment.
Well, with just 10 laps to go now, Seems to get.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
Apparently, Noah's having to actually fight Funky Fox for 6th position. I don't know what's gone on with him, but he's really actually struggling.
Oh, Funky Fox. After that bad pit stop, I have to see what happens with him. There's how's Dark doing? I don't know. Dark is dropping back a little bit from Macho now, having to settle into that P3 position. Is he going to be able to attack the boot GP again? I'm not sure. But he's going to have to try and gain in on them if he wants another go. Because he is rapidly losing time from that boot GP car.
X event is in. Event is boxing.
Again?
10 laps to go. Medium to medium, which he can do because he already boxed. And he's fulfilled his mandatory tyre change. So all the drivers now do have free choice of tyres if they want to box again. But event boxing is the first real big strategy call that I've seen down here. Venturi actually has one of the most busy pit walls on the entire pit wall down here. Is they've got all their engineers and more. So the strategy calls there is some maths going into that for sure. Either that or they've just ruined his race. Either or. They must be putting a lot of trust into his pace.
Well, how do you feel about that, Jezza? Do you think it's going to work?
I think it's odd, but he's gone medium, which is even more odd. So it's not like he's putting on the fastest tyre compound. And he has only come out 5 seconds. Oh, that not even because of the... Yeah. So he's lost quite a chunk of time. And Mr. Muckshow is fast, but he is going to have the tyre advantage in that sense. But I'm just guessing that the team is putting trust that he is fast enough to regain that time with the 9 laps that he has left and get him. But it is the bold call, and personally I wouldn't have made it because he was bleeding anyway. His tyres must have been dead or dying. I will have a look at Macho though. Will he box? No, he's staying out. It was just him making a call like that. Very interesting one. Might work.
Well, Event seems to already be in P8 now, so he's now got a 6-second gap before he gets to the real top contenders that lead from about P7 to P2.
And the other Venturi is in. Medium. So it's not just a call for the race win, it's a call for both drivers. Chase is he's going to lose a lot of positions from this. He was further back anyway. He's going to be right in the middle of the pack, I'd assume now. But interesting that they've done it for both drivers. I initially thought that it would have just been Event because he's challenging for the win, but considering both cars have come in, just an interesting one. And also Video Super is in the eDocs or whatever it's called now. So he's already pitted, so he can do what he wants. And he's overshot it again. Brake, man. There you go. And then box. There you go. So he's gone onto the softs. So he thinks those softs can get him 20. That's what I would have done. That's why the Venturis are confusing me. They have 8 laps now. They could have fitted the softs and have been much faster. They may have ruined it for themselves.
Well, just as you say that, the Ryzens have just gained a 1-2 with Macho in P3, I believe. Funky has somehow Uno reversed life and got into P1. Macho has just got back past Dark. Has it? I'm fairly sure it has.
In the lead. And Noah Gamer is in between Funky Fox and Dark.
Noah Gamer is...
yeah, that's Noah.
Well, they look the same, okay.
They are both pink. It's true.
I don't like pink things. It's gay, and I don't like gay people.
Well then,
I would have got sacked for that. I did get sacked for that.
well, one thing is for sure for fast cars here at Silverstone, Funky is setting fastest lap after fastest lap. So he does have the pace on the mediums as well. So that's very interesting.
What a mad lad.
Loose Spot able to keep the pace ahead of Event and retake that position. Loose Spot on dying softs with Event on fresh mediums. You know what, Jez? I think you might have had the right strategy there, going on to those softs. So we'll have to see what Event can do on those mediums. But I
They should
don't
hire me.
pass.
If you want a bit of a juicy fight, Nathan Cow versus Woosop, or for 13th position, is quite close. It seems to be the only real battle going on, but it's very close. That's just what I've spotted from the pit lane. Just kind of sat here as the other Edox of Eagle M comes in, who is frozen, which is always great. But he is boxing at a swift 0.5 FPS. That has to be the worst internet I've actually ever seen. Maybe he's lagging out. I don't know. Everyone else is going past though. No one else is. Oh, and there goes. He's disconnected. So that's his race over. He was last anyway. So that's great.
Unfortunate.
Who is it that's disconnected? Did you say?
That would have been Eagle M in the Edox.
Well,
both of them may be out.
Well, that's what you get when you're sponsored by the cringiest YouTuber, row racing YouTuber. As Funky retains his P2 ahead of Noah Gamer in that pink boot GP. If I was Emma, I mean Booten, I would have. I'd keep that. I'd keep that instead of the third wheel, but maybe that's not an option for him. I don't know why he doesn't do that. I shouldn't say that though, because the third wheel is a good friend of mine. Gave me my little feature in War on Wheels. But yeah.
2 laps of the pit window, and Event is only 7th. I do think that the team have actually ruined their races, possibly. Chase Elliott also down P10, and they're on mediums, whilst everyone else is on. Well, they are on dying softs, but it's just about the gap, because there's an 18-second gap to the lead.
You want to know something else even worse for Event? He's just been overtaken by Fernon. So, I don't know why Venturi have decided to do this. They've turned what was P1 and P4 to P7 and P10. But I guess that's a lesson for next time.
Yeah, that was a very, very odd strategy.
I'm not even smart, and I know that was a dumb one. Well, they can prove me wrong. But no one else has boxed, so...
Damn.
And there's one
well, the pit lane reporter has been great, Jezza.
Thank you.
As Macho now leads the way, 2.5 seconds ahead of Funky. Noah Gamer still in P3, and Dark still in P4. Char is losing a bit of time to this lead battle, but there isn't really a lead battle anymore. They're kind of just all, there.
Yeah.
The gaps have really settled at the moment, so we get a nice bit of chill.
Relaxing. Where are they? Okay, so they're about Maggots and Beckett. So this is their last call to pit. Once that line is crossed, that red light will come on in the pit lane. As Nathan has a drive-through penalty. You can still serve your drive-through penalties, obviously, but other than that, you can't really pit. So
as Dark just decides
to take the chance,
as Dark just decides that Chapel doesn't exist and he can't be bothered to take it, cuts the corner.
That's good. I would do that too. It's faster line. Yeah, so it doesn't look like anyone is gonna do that.
Yeah, well, that's sad for them. Missed out on an opportunity to destroy their races. Venturi.
Well, a quick update on all the retirees.
They're losing time as well.
Oh yeah. Well, Nicolin DNF earlier in the race, Racerman as well. Pisfleck actually was disqualified. I believe it was corner cuts or something else. He was disqualified from the race. That's why he had to go into the pits. Corner cuts. He was disqualified for corner cuts, as our race director just told me. And also Eagle M DNF'd because of the disconnection, as we saw. It's just a quick update, and we'll see what happens now with just 4 laps remaining.
Well, Jezza, have you seen anything in the pit lane of rule breaking?
No, everyone's boxed in the correct box. Everyone's changed their tyres. Nathan Gauss just served his drive-through penalty. It's been very clean, which is good since, was it last race? Or the race before, we had a lot of infringements with the whole pitting in your box and that whole argument. So everyone's been a good boy or girl if you're in Boot GP. So everyone's been good. Proud of them.
Yes, because
Nothing's
of course
gone wrong, so.
And of course, because Bhutan can't work around males, all of his drivers are female because he is a homosexual. Moving on, Macho suggesting about Boot GP. Macho is still in the lead with Funky 2 seconds behind and Noah Gamer 10 seconds behind. Charles 17 seconds behind. Where's Loosebot? 20 seconds behind. It's quite a few seconds. And Fernon has overtaken the Venturi, who have decided to imitate the strategies of Mercedes in real life during the 2021 season, and decided that doing a decent strategy is a bad idea. But Aven is now battling with Fernon. Can he get past the Reticat? Yes, he can, and he now is ahead of the Craig Reticat, coming down towards Luffield. Is that Luffield? It might be Luffield. Who knows?
Which one?
Let's hope.
I don't know. I'm sat here in the boring pit lane.
Or it might
One
be
thing is though,
Village.
apparently Funky Fox has better tyre wear. I do believe he pitted after Max Joe, whatever the hell his stupid name is. But I believe he pitted afterwards. He will have better tyre wear.
Well, if
much
he's
of a
got-
big gap.
If he's
We're gonna
got
have a
better tyre wear, of course the RRA stewards are going to do their normal thing and just ignore it. So we
I
don't need
mean
to worry
that.
about
I mean, he pitted later, so his tyres are in better condition. But yeah, sure, they are probably cheating as well. So who knows? Wow, he gained 2 seconds that lap.
Oh god, he must be on some
Smoke.
special juice there. Exactly. And he said, let's see, Mr. Macho, his last lap was a 140.433, I believe, and Funky Fox was a 139.14. So about a second and a half faster than Mr. Macho.
as Loosebot overtakes Char for P5, which I am not complaining about. 10 points for Kaizen Kota. Don't mind if I do. He's now got 5 seconds to Dark, so I don't think he's going to catch the P4 driver, but anything's possible, so we'll keep our fingers crossed. If you're me, and if you're Jezza, because of the RRA steward's bias against KKR, you will be very sad.
So, looks like, yeah, no, don't listen to a Venturi engineer ever, because they will ruin your life. They say
For the record,
it's because they had to make the strategy within 30 minutes, which is a long time. So, but I don't. Probably half of these guys didn't even make a strategy. So, yeah.
for the record, that was a joke. RRA stewards are not biased against Northport KKR. Moving on. Jezza is very right. If I have the option between a very poor childcare service and Venturi engineers, I would leave my kids with a very poor childcare service.
Yeah. This is a really close battle for the lead. Do you think he'll do it?
It does
I
seem
think
like it.
Can get a win. Is this his first win? Or
No,
maybe,
he won
might be?
last time. He won, I think, in. Hold on, let me check.
What
I
was the
believe
last
he had-
race? Korea.
Oh, sorry, he didn't. Yeah, this would be his first one.
There you
Ah.
go. Is this the one? No, just his teammate that's gotten 2 poles this season. He's gonna have 1 more lap to do it. He's half a second or 6/10 behind. Fun.
Or maybe this is Ryzen's moment. Ryzen's
Ryzen.
rise. I'm not going to pronounce it right. It's Ryzen.
Ryzen. It's 3 syllables.
No, it's not. It's Ryzen.
Which Briton will win at Silverstone? I'm gonna guess the British one.
Yeah. I also think it might be the British one.
That does seem to
Looking
make a lot
down
of
the
sense.
order, Funky's team Mark is now under pressure from Loose Spot, as they're on the penultimate lap, I believe, but they might not be. I just can't really see.
They're
Yeah.
on the timing sheet. So. All right. Has he lost? He's lost time, I think.
Well, we'll see as they
Okay.
cross the line. As
They
Loose
do
Spot
have
also
a-
decides that Chapel isn't a thing and decides not to take it.
Yeah, I was just gonna say how Rizzurin have gotten 2 poles. They didn't win any of them, and now they're running second. They were half a second behind.
They won
Which one
Korea.
did they win?
won Korea. They won Korea.
Did they? I just got told that they didn't. I was there,
Uh,
to be fair.
They did. I think Dark, yeah. Dark had won Korea.
What has
Okay.
happened to Noah Gamer?
Dead.
Oh.
Oh yeah. Oh, he got stuck. Oh, he's beached.
Oh, there goes his race, unfortunately for Noah Gamer. Down
Oh,
to
KKR
can
is
get
in
back.
P4. Dark's in
Here you go.
P4.
No again.
This is monumental. This is monumental for Boot GP, as a almost near double podium for them has been taken, ripped away from them, violently, like Booton does in his boyfriend's ass.
Oh.
Well,
Absolutely.
looking up at Mr. Macho and
Yeah,
Funky. Does look like Funky has lost a lot of time. He's from
Still
5
time.
10.
Yep.
Yeah.
Might follow in his teammates' footsteps and get beached on a curb. How do you even do that? Oh, you gotta be going pretty slow.
Well,
He's back
Mr.
on track
Macho
now.
has a comfortable lead now, so if he was to get beached on that curb on the final lap, not only would Funky literally be very happy, but it would also be absolutely embarrassing for that Boot GP team. But he's coming through that chicane for the final time. He's not got beached on the curb like his teammate.
No, he's done
He
it.
comes
Ooh.
towards the line. Is he going to win the race? Yes, he is. Funky
Good result
in that
otherwise.
Ryzen,
Is it another podium for Lucibot? What a madness.
and Loose Spot in the
Long
KKR.
gap.
Tries
Big gap.
to racing. Win.
Well,
Gets a podium.
I just gotta put
Yeah.
something quick in here. Remember Jezza in Mexico, where they had that drive-through penalty, was going to be happening again. Charles Leclerc, and I believe also Video has a drive-through penalty.
Not another one? It's okay. Video's last.
Oh,
No,
well,
pretty much last. Second last. I don't
let's see
know
what
who the other
happens
one
here.
was.
And does
I'll
look
let
like
Josh deal with that.
Charles did not lose any positions. Lucky for him.
Alright.
Well, it seems that Loose Spot can't do a race without getting a podium at this point. So he gets another podium. Funky,
Christ,
I don't know
that
if
was
he's been on the
dumb.
podium before, but he gets a podium. And Macho does the usual, and he wins.
I mean, does the usual. It's like his second win in 2 seasons.
I don't know. I don't keep
He
up
won in
with that.
Portimao because his teammate, his Dakar, spun. But
Well,
sure.
yeah, sure. Sounds good.
Yay. Alright. Now what? Are we doing
now
a
they
podium?
come.
Maybe, yes, no, maybe. I don't know. I'm just a pit
think
lane
so.
reporter, so I'm going to go back into my hole.
And that was Jezza, everyone. Thanks to him,
Mom.
he's been great.
I did do great. Peace and love. And I hate Boot GP.
I also hate Boot GP. But yeah, it'll be nice to get a word from the podium contenders when we get to have a word with the podium contenders, but they're parking their cars in Park Thermo currently, so we'll have to give them a second. For such great racers, they're not good parkers.
What is this?
What? Oh, come on. I don't like RRA cars. They're very... Good enough. Good enough. As I don't believe we're getting podium interviews, which is sad. But yeah, I hope everyone enjoyed that. Yay. And everyone has left me. So yeah, that was the Silverstone Grand Prix. I hope you've enjoyed that race, and join us in, I believe, 2 weeks' time for... I totally know the calendar. For Zandvoort on the 3rd and 5th of June. So yeah, thanks for joining. Zandvoort is next. Who is?